The Tower of London was still asleep when Anne Boleyn opened her eyes for the last time. There were no bells, no trumpets, no warning to the city that a queen was about to die. The air before dawn hung cold and damp, pressing against the stone walls like a held breath. Somewhere beyond the tower, London stirred quietly, unaware that before the sun fully rose, England would lose a queen, not to illness, not to age, but to silence and steel. And rose slowly from her bed. She was 30 years old. Not an age meant for endings. Not an age meant for graves. Yet every step she would take that morning had already been decided. Roughly 1,000 steps separated her cell from the scaffold. 1,000 steps between the woman who once ruled England's heart and the body that would soon lie headless on cold ground. Her sleep had been broken, haunted by fragments of memory. Faces, voices, a crown heavy on her head. A king's smile that had once burned with desire and now existed only as absence. She dressed carefully, deliberately, as though time still belonged to her. A gray damask gown, fur-lined mantle, a French hood framing her face. She chose dignity over fear, control over despair. She would not walk to her death looking like a condemned woman. She would walk as a queen. And Boleyn had never been meant to live quietly. From the beginning, her life had been shaped by ambition and danger. Born into a family hungry for advancement, she was trained not to obey but to survive. Sent away from England while still a girl, she learned the arts of charm and intelligence in foreign courts, places where a wrong word could destroy a life. When she returned, she was different, sharper, brighter, more dangerous. King Henry VIII noticed her not because she was easy but because she was not. He had known beautiful women before. He had taken them, used them, discarded them, and refused him. She demanded marriage, legitimacy, a crown. And in that refusal, she ignited an obsession that would tear England apart. For 7 years, Henry pursued her. 7 years of longing, letters, promises. 7 years while England watched, waited, and whispered. To have end, Henry shattered his world. He abandoned his queen, defied Rome, split the church, and crowned himself supreme. Faith collapsed. Blood followed. All for one woman. And became queen not through love alone, but through revolution. Yet crowns are never stable on women who rise too high. She gave Henry a daughter, not the son he craved. Elizabeth, a child whose very existence disappointed the king. Miscarriages followed. Each loss hollowed Anne's position further. Each failure sharpened the knives around her. The court turned cold. Henry's love decayed into irritation. Anne's sharp wit, once intoxicating, became dangerous. She argued. She challenged. She forgot, or refused, to be silent. And while Anne struggled to hold her place, another woman stepped forward quietly. Jane Seymour. Pale, submissive, replaceable. The fall came suddenly, violently. Anne was arrested without warning and taken to the Tower, the same place where she had once waited in triumph before her coronation. This time, the gates closed behind her like a mouth swallowing its prey. Charges followed that sounded like madness. Adultery, incest, treason. Crimes so severe they demanded death. The trial was a lie dressed as justice. Anne defended herself fiercely, desperately. She swore innocence. She laughed, then cried, then prayed. She spoke too much. She spoke too honestly. It did not matter. Her fate had already been sealed by the king's desire to move on. Inside her cell, Anne unraveled and rebuilt herself again and again. She asked how she would die. She practiced placing her neck. She touched her throat absent-mindedly, as if trying to understand how a life could be ended so easily. Henry ordered a French swordsman, precise, professional, swift. Mercy, they said. But mercy delivered by steel is still death. And so the morning came. And stepped outside into the pale light of the Tower Green. The grass was wet. The air smelled of stone and silence. A small crowd waited, nobles, officials, witnesses. No cheers. No cries. Only expectation. And walked. Each step echoed against the stones. Each step pulled her farther from the woman she had been. The girl in France. The lover. The queen. The mother. 1,000 steps stripping her of everything except memory. She climbed the scaffold without trembling. She knelt. Her final words were measured, obedient. She did not curse Henry. She did not accuse him. She prayed for his life. Perhaps because rage would not save her. Perhaps because history would. Her ladies removed her hood. Her dark hair fell briefly into the open air. She tied the blindfold herself. Calm, controlled, terrifyingly composed. The executioner knelt before her and begged forgiveness. "I forgive you," she said. A moment passed. Then the sword fell. One stroke. No scream. No struggle. And Boleyn was dead. Her body was placed into a crude chest meant for arrows, no coffin prepared for a queen. She was buried beneath the Tower Chapel, unmarked, unnamed, erased. Within days, Henry was engaged to another woman. And Boleyn vanished from court, but not from history. Because the woman who died that morning did not disappear. Her daughter would grow to rule England with iron will and brilliance. The blood and spilled would echo through centuries. Those 1,000 steps did not end in Boleyn's story. They began her legend. And in the Tower of London they say when dawn breaks just right, you can still feel her walking, calm, unbowed and doomed, toward a fate she once believed love would save her from.